Do you want to play Mozart's works, or do you simply want to know what to listen for? There's a surprising way to approach Mozart's music that isn't often mentioned. It's a fundamental principle of musical composition, one that, along with harmony, counterpoint, and rhythm, all of which determine the quality of the music. In this video, we'll demonstrate this using the sonata from the Cockle number 332. And we'll take a closer look at the structure and distinctive features of the first movement. This will help you understand the music better when listening and interpret it more convincingly when playing. Countless educators have pondered what constitutes the correct way to interpret Mozart. The legendary pianist Arthur Schnabel once remarked that Mozart is too easy for children and too difficult for adults. It allows for no mistakes or inaccuracies, a commonly heard assessment, and demands not only absolute precision but also carefree lightness. What is the Mozart Principle? What defines the richness of this music? For one thing, there is the seemingly inexhaustible melodic inventiveness. Mozart strings melody after melody together, each more original or beautiful than the last. No sooner has he allowed one idea to take effect than he discovers an entirely different figure or rhythmic playfulness. This has even led to rejection by composers who view music primarily as work on and with musical structure. Gustav Mahler, for example, is said to have remarked that Mozart interested him only up to the double bar line, that is, up to the end of the exposition. The expositions of Mozart's sonatas and symphonies, Mahler concedes, overflow with brilliant ideas. An interesting elaboration of this material, however, Mahler argues, is not to be found in Mozart's work. On the other hand, Mozart's music seems to possess a special brilliance. This may be due to the virtuosic, transparent voice leading without tonal overload and the perfect balance between form and expression. Mozart's ability to combine playful lightness with deep expression, while suggesting to us that he is telling stories, seems to play a special role here. And so it is, Mozart is a brilliant storyteller. In everything he does, he is first and foremost a man of the opera. The stage composer shines through in all his music. This is also evident in today's global performance statistics. Mozart is, ahead of Verdi, Puccini, and Wagner, the most frequently performed and most popular opera composer. What does this mean for approaching Mozart's sonatas? One can only understand them if one views them as pocket-sized operas. This also applies to the sonata, Cockle number 332. Curtain up. The sonata begins with a 12-measure group, divided into 4 measure sections. On stage are 2 servants exchanging the latest gossip. Don't believe it? Both in turn, I told you so. From offstage, a wind section announces the return of a hunting party with a varied, repeated 4-measure motif and a 2-measure coda. Everyone wants to have the last word. Change of mood. The hero of the opera storms onto the stage, agitated. He's upset and isn't quite sure what to do next. Over 2 diminished chords, the music modulates in a sequence to the dominant key, not in major but in minor. Is this my fate, or perhaps that? Or that? In 3 sets of 2 measures and a major 6th chord, the main theme leads to a half cadence. The music continues in the dominant key, but now in a major key. The lovely soprano soothes the hero with an 8-measure aria featuring regular main and secondary phrases. And to make sure the message gets through, she repeats the whole thing emphatically, embellished with chromatic approximations and grace notes. Change of scene. The heroic tenor is indecisive. He no longer sings but wanders agitatedly across the stage, throwing his hands about, abruptly changing direction, beating his chest. The father enters, a baritone of course. He urges calm and offers reassurance. The lovely soprano reinforces the father's words of admonition. Everyone unites and reaffirms their unity in the tutti. Mozart's boundless inventiveness in melody is only one aspect. His great artistry is revealed above all in the way he intertwines the various levels of the music, repeatedly incorporating surprising asymmetries and achieving stupendous expressiveness. The opening seems quite regular at first, with the Alberti bass in eighth notes and the repeated half-quarter motif. But even here, Mozart surprises us with unconventional harmonies that progresses to the subdominant and back over a sustained note in F. What follows is already a canon and ultimately a complete 4-5-1 cadence. Then, a wind section, horn fifths and a glide into the parallel key of D minor. This introduces the modulation into the secondary movement, progressing through diminished chords and heightened tension with a major sixth chord, leading to the repeated full cadence in C minor instead of the expected major key, and finally a half cadence. But it is not only the harmony that holds some surprises. The rhythmic melodic architecture, too, is full of bold details that bring the work to life. The virtuoso use of stumbling blocks, surprising twists, and irregular structures is part of the indispensable repertoire of a good composer. Mozart parroted what it sounds like when these surprising and unconventional elements are missing in his musical joke, a work in which he mocks the clumsy compositions of less talented colleagues. There, monotonous regularity prevails, with failed attempts to break the rules that come across as unintentionally comical rather than truly skillful. Meter, rhythm, and interval structure are largely in sync there. When they fall apart, it seems arbitrary and contrived. Mozart's own works, by contrast, are full of witty ideas. In our sonata, for example, the rhythm largely follows the pulse and meter. However, the harmony develops surprisingly quickly. The interweaving of structures becomes even more pronounced later in the sonata. The sophistication in the construction of details is also a hallmark of Johann Sebastian Bach's music. In the popular C major prelude from the Well-Tempered Clavier, he takes understatement to the extreme. The rhythmic structure is as regular as it can possibly be. Beneath it, a complex harmonic structure animates the music. In this video, we'll show you the details. Check it out. If you'd like to learn more about the theoretical foundations of our work, you should watch this video from start to finish. And feel free to write in the comments what you think of Mozart's piano sonatas.